ghost hunting is actually kind of boring, like our show. And I think our show is kind of cool, actually.
I like it.
But real ghost hunting is not like you see on TV. And maybe we can tell you a little bit about real ghost hunting tonight. And you'll come away with a better idea of what it is that we'd like to see you do when you're ghost hunting. Should we get on with this?
I'm all for it.
Marlena will tell you that, you know, we've met a lot of people in the last few years who've been wanting to join us. We've got all the names right here. You can't see it, of course, because the camera's too far back, but lots and lots and lots of people have tried to be a part of this. And some of them have worked out really well and they've become really good paranormal investigators. And some of them, I think they joined the group with an idea that this was all really, you know, like that British show, with lots of screaming and running around and seeing stuff. And when they found out that this wasn't how it was, they got a little distracted and upset, and they quit. And Marlena and I are sort of farting around trying to rebuild the group. So tonight's show is hopefully, if you're out there and you want to ghost hunt but you're not willing to sit down and seriously take notes, you know, scan for temperatures, try to figure out what an EMF field is, sit and watch a little tiny closed circuit camera for hours and watch somebody sound asleep, which is what you'd rather be doing. If you don't,
take your pictures, of course.
and taking your photographs of what might be going on out there in the world. If you don't want to do any of that stuff, you shouldn't be ghost hunting. Because real ghost hunting is being willing to get rid of a lot more stuff than you want to keep.
How do you know if you see a ghost?
By everybody running away really quickly.
If you're going to go ghost hunting, do you need to buy equipment for it?
I'm glad you asked that, Marlena, because you don't.
I see for TV they got all kinds of stuff.
We have all kinds of stuff, but that's because we are a group, and this isn't even mine. This belongs to another member of our group. This closed circuit camera here, TV thing here with the camera, this is basically a group owned by the group. This is a ghost box. We're going to explain that a little bit to you in a bit. That was brought in by a new member of the group. Marlena has her very own camera, a cheap flashlight, a nice little compass which works as an EMF meter. We've got other cameras, and we've got the night shot. We've got several of these TV units. But if I was ghost hunting by myself, well, I wouldn't need these, Marlena, because what am I going to do? Monitor myself? You know?
Good point.
If I was hunting by myself, I might have one on, you know, and run it through a TV so I could record the event. But generally, if I was by myself, I'd probably want a flashlight. I would probably want to get one of these digital thermometers, you know, so you can aim them at a location. These go about $30. I definitely want a nice camera, because camera is your first tool, and a tape recorder. And we don't have one on the table right now for some reason. Oh yes, we do. We've got one right here. A tape recorder. That's the only kind of thing that I would say a ghost hunter should have. And if a ghost hunter had this, I'd be happy. So as a group, I mean, we've got a box down here on the floor with tons more stuff like this. Many of these, more of those, lots of notepad and pen, very, very important. Lots and lots and lots and lots of stuff in the box down here. But the ghost hunter who's just by himself, like if you went off to the cemetery, just a camera, maybe a tape recorder, flashlight so you don't break your leg. It doesn't have to be an expensive hobby.
Would you actually advise someone to go ghost hunting by themselves?
No, but if sometimes people may be unable to find somebody that goes with them.
Oh,
And actually, if you're somebody that is in that situation where you want to go ghost hunting, you can't find either a friend that's interested or a buddy that will go with you, take your cell phone and depending on where you're going, you know, if you're just going over to the cemetery locally, or if you're going to a location that you've checked out in the past, let somebody know where you are and what time you're going to be back. Because God forbid you fall or trip in the dark and hurt yourself and nobody knows where you're at. So you should always, you know, let somebody know where you've gone to. Stay with whatever time schedule you've given yourself, and take a cell phone for emergencies.
Good point.
Yeah, and I wouldn't advise going ghost hunting by yourself, but people do. And if you are careful and you make sure that people know where you're at when you're expected home, then you know you could probably do it fairly safely. Just don't go into a really scary house.
Okay. Good. Any particular things that you need to be aware of before you go into a location?
Good question. You obviously don't want to go into a home that is condemned. You'd want to know the law. You know, it might be that this belongs to somebody and they wouldn't take kindly to me and Marlena climbing through a bedroom window. You know, so you need to know what the posted laws are on a building. We don't want to get sued, and we don't want to get arrested for trespass. So you should know a bit about the land that you're going to. You know, if there's a place on the countryside that's got a 40-foot well that has no longer got a stone around it, you might want to know where that well's at, you know, so that you don't go falling to your death.
Absolutely.
You know, in pitch blackness. So you don't want to know history if you can help it, because that takes findings and investigation. If you're part of a team, you know, maybe Marlena would be like the archivist, the historian. She might not have all the details to the ghost hunt, and everybody else would be zip. And the idea for that is that if we have psychics or sensitives on the team, if they come up with some information, they have no idea where we're going, Marlena might have an idea of how close or accurate they are to the information they think they're picking up. So generally, you want to know stuff so you don't break your neck. As part of an organized team, you want to know stuff so you have control. And everything else, I would just leave it alone. You know, just make sure you know the laws involved and stuff like that.
Good. Interesting. So, for example, you are invited to somebody's home. They've got something maybe that's going on in their house. They want some paranormal investigators there. What do you do when you get in there? Like the client wants to know, you know, if they have a ghost, do you tell them everything that you see, or do you think they get scared if you tell them, or how do you handle